have you ever noticed animal tracks and wondered what animal could have possibly made them?
In our Critters Uncaged today, Cindy Oliveira and Sarah Hollander with the University of Illinois Wildlife Medical Clinic, they have a few tips on how to ID those footprints. So ladies, welcome back. So a lot of times when you spot some footprints outside, maybe in the mud or the dirt, you're like, what in the world is that? You've got some tips on how people can identify those.
Yeah, so, and we also have some books here, so we brought some cheat sheets with us as well. So if you look in the back of some of these field guides, it actually will give you some tips as well, if I can find the page. So a lot of it is just the shape of the footprint, how many toes it might have, like how imprinted it is versus how like shallow it is as well. Like if it's a larger animal, it's gonna go deeper. You might actually see like a tail print in there. You can tell if they're like running or walking based on how the footprints are arranged on the ground.
Oh,
interesting.
So, yeah, and we can tell the direction they're going to. So you're gonna see like the toes on those, they're pointing in the direction the animal's going. So.
Okay, so can we guess on some of these?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
So these are all animals. Let's get some information, Grace. Are these all animals that we would find in Illinois?
They are, and I also should
Okay.
have mentioned, so you might also see claws too. So yeah, and that's one tip. So like felids, their claws retract, so you wouldn't see claw prints in the sand or soil. Whereas like canids, their claws are always out. So you might see that with a canid.
Okay, so and these are kind of the molds that you use to create these prints. So we've kind of got a little extra help.
We sure do.
With the molds here. Let's start with this one. Do you think this one's probably the easiest, Grace?
I mean, I want to say it is, but and
oh, look at her giving us the cheat sheet here. Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, just on first glance.
What's your guess?
A dog.
That's what I was going to guess too.
Okay.
Are we right, Sarah?
Close. You want to think more wildlife.
Oh, coyote.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, that's kind of crazy though, because if you have a dog and you also have these tracks in your yard, how would you tell the difference?
Okay.
Coyote tracks tend to be a little bit narrower in shape, and dog toes will splay a little bit more, whereas coyotes, they'll be a little bit closer together.
Okay, up next, we're thinking wild, right? Now back to the wild, because I'm like immediately thinking like donkey or something here, but that's not wild.
I would say like a deer.
Oh, okay. We're gonna go with Grace's answer.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah,
Okay.
The most common animals around here that would make those tracks are white-tailed deer. Yep.
Okay, interesting. And then our final one,
This one's a stumper.
okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just make sure they had all their fingers and toes. Is that a raccoon or a possum?
It's a raccoon.
Okay.
So possums have very unique footprints. They actually look like stars with their front feet, and then it looks like a human hand with their back foot.
Yes, it
So,
really does
yeah,
look like a tiny
yep.
hand.
So, and raccoons have more of
Chemistry.
those elongated feet and hands. So
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
We have some photos here of some other tracks that maybe you're noticing out and about. How common are bobcats here in central Illinois?
That's a good question. I would say in rural areas, like if you had chickens or like animals that they might be like prey around that they would eat, you would find them more readily, as opposed to being in town. So
Okay.
Yep.
We got another one here.
Oh, I think now this one looks very similar to the raccoon. So what's the difference?
So with the opossums, their front foot is going to it's going to just be like the palm and the toes. It's not going to show the arm as much as it will in the raccoon. And then with their back feet, it looks very human-like. They actually don't have a nail on the thumb of their back foot. And so that's one way that you can identify opossums by their back feet.
You did mention that you can tell if they're running or walking. How can you tell that?
It's helpful when you have more than one footprint to go off of, but just based off of how far apart those footprints are. So if they seem like they are starting closer together and they get farther apart, then that might show that they're running.
Okay.
And for like
interesting.
possums too, their tail might come down when they're running as well, whereas when they're walking, they hold it up.
Of course. Okay. Well, you have a great website where people can check out some tracks and maybe do a little investigating on their own. And we appreciate you coming. This was so fun.
Yeah, so cool.
All right, if you want more information on the University of Illinois Wildlife Medical Clinic, there's a look at their website, as well as we'll have the website where you can find all the animal tracks We'll post that at CILiving.tv after today's show.